Hi, my name is Dave Frank. Welcome to my 19th online Internet Masterclass. I'm coming to you tonight live from Harry, NYC, located at 140 West 30th Street in Midtown Manhattan. Tonight I'm excited to offer you the first part of a two-part masterclass on playing over modal vamps. The first part of this class is intended for beginning improvisers. We'll learn how to break through to improv using modal vamps in the left hand. Although primarily intended for keyboard players, the improv concepts we'll study can be used effectively for all instrumentalists as well as for voice. The second part of this series will explore various concepts for jamming over modal vamps for advanced players. It's my sincere conviction that all musicians can learn to improvise. The improv concepts we'll study tonight can be one way to help you to discover this world, which lies right within you. If you're a traditionally trained musician or a beginning improviser, a beautiful, infinite world of creative music making is waiting at your fingertips. Let's get into it. A modal vamp, also called a drone, is a short, repetitive melodic pattern usually from 1 to 2 measures long. The pattern is repeated over and over in the left hand if you're a pianist to create a trance-like hypnotic effect. One can then improvise over the vamp using a variety of scales, modes, and note sequences. If you're familiar with Indian or other world musics, you'll frequently hear this kind of playing on musical forms such as ragas, etc. The great jazz masters that are known for this type of playing include Keith Jarrett, Brad Mehldau, and Lenny Tristano. Modal vamps are super fun and generally easy to play and offer a unique opportunity to learn to begin improvising. Tonight we'll study some of the basic concepts of improvisation and use them to start jamming over a modal vamp. You might like to have your instrument with you for this class, and you may download the notes at my website, www.davefrankjazz.com. The vamp we'll use tonight will go like this: F, B flat, C, F. This is a good vamp because the intervals are fourths and fifths. Using fourths and fifths in your vamp leaves a lot of room to use various modes to improvise on in the right hand. The first thing to do to get started is to establish your musical pulse. It's helpful to use a slower pulse when beginning improvising to give you more time to integrate the various aspects of the improv process. The pulse in music is the invisible glue that holds everything together. In Chinese medicine, the pulse of the patient is the indicator of overall health. A strong pulse indicates vital health. A weaker pulse indicates ill health. And no pulse indicates, well, you know. In music, it's the same. The stronger the pulse, the healthier the music. If the music has no pulse, well, you know. We're going to put the pulse about 80 on the metronome. We'll start playing the vamp, maintaining the feeling of the pulse throughout. You can do a little Stevie Wonder thing with your head if you like to get cooking. The pulse is that even, metronomic feeling beneath the music. You always want to feel that when you're playing over modal vamps. Before I go further, although this is a fairly basic vamp, it's still a little syncopated. If you find this vamp difficult to maintain, you can try these two vamps first. F for 2 beats, C for 2 beats. Or you could try this one, F, C, F, F, C, F. You can use these simpler vamps for everything we'll learn tonight. Okay, we'll get back to our basic vamp now, and we're going to play feeling the underlying pulse. This type of playing is very meditative. The idea is just to kind of go out with it. Once you have the basic feeling of the pulse and the vamp, we can start adding the right hand. It's common to use the Greek modes when improvising over vamps. I'll include a discussion of the Greek modes in the notes if you're not familiar with them. A mode generally refers to a major scale that starts on a note other than its root. We'll use an F Mixolydian mode to improvise over our vamp to begin. An F Mixolydian mode is a B-flat major scale that starts and ends on F. This mode has a bright, positive sound. The first thing to do is to play the Mixolydian mode in quarter notes over the vamp, pausing at the top and bottom. Just hang out here for a while to get to know the field of battle. The scale is like a ladder. Now we're starting at the bottom of the ladder, walking rung by rung to the top, and then going back down. Try it a few times. Get comfortable with the combination of the scale and the vamp. I'll record a few minutes of vamp accompaniment at the end of this video to practice along with. You can start descending. Our next step is to play the scale, but instead of simply playing it up and down, feel free to start and stop wherever you like. It's like walking a few rungs up the ladder, pausing, maybe walking down a few rungs, etc. We'll stay with quarter notes and the notes of the Mixolydian mode for now. Your inner ear will tell you where the music should go. Our objective is to stay with the vamp and one scale, and to listen to the promptings of your inner ear and follow with your fingers. This is a big but easy step. Staying with the scale, quarter notes, and I'm just, instead of going just simply up and down, I'm going up and down anytime I hear it. You can pause occasionally, up a few rungs, down a few rungs, follow your ear. Occasionally you can leap a little bit and make a simple melody. What we're doing here is we're creating short phrases of quarter notes followed by a rest. In improv, a short phrase is generally thought of as 1 to 2 measures long. A medium phrase is 2 to 4 measures, and a long line would be considered anything longer than 4 measures of continuous notes without a rest. The key here is to feel the pulse and create a simple musical sentence using quarter notes from the Mixolydian scale. After I play a simple melody, I rest, and I feel into the space of the rest, and the rest will tell me when to start playing the next phrase. I'm staying with the scale in quarter notes, feeling the pulse, and making simple musical phrases. This is the beginning of improvisation. This would be a good place to stop the video and try this out. Even at the simplest level, improvisation is an infinite art. And this step right here will show you how to get it started. A little bit more. I'm listening, my ear is telling me where to go, and I'm creating a short sentence. It's like speaking. When you learn a foreign language, first you learn words, and then you learn how to put the words together in simple sentences. This is what we're doing at this point in the video. Try all combinations, all different combinations you can think of, ascending, descending, and always try to make a complete musical phrase, basically short at this point. How you doing so far? It's okay to stay with any one of these steps for as long as you need to before going on to the next. I'll assume you practiced this very hard for 2 weeks, and now we can go into our next step. We're simply going to add some eighth notes to the mix. So you can think of creating musical complete phrases that use quarter notes and occasional eighth notes. The eighth notes changes the feeling quite a bit, makes it flow more. No matter what we're using when we improvise, there are certain common denominators that make it work. The common denominator is that everything you play, whether we're using quarter notes or a combination of quarter notes and eighth notes, should sound like a short but complete musical phrase. Just explore this on your own. Sometimes ascend, sometimes descend. Use more quarter notes sometimes. You're going to start to hear these melodies as soon as you use this approach to begin improvising. Trust your inner ear and let your fingers follow. Sometimes you're going to do stepwise motion up the ladder and make a simple melody and stop that way. And sometimes you can add some little leaps. You see how it always sounds like a sentence? That's the key. The key is the sentence construction and the feeling of the pulse and flow at the same time. Go out on it. It's fun. Okay, we're going to go a little deeper in the pool now. And again, you could spend as much time as you want on any of these steps. But now we're going to go into mostly using eighth notes in our line. And when we do that, we really get an authentic jazz feel. So now we're going to do the same thing, create basically short lines, but we're going to use mostly eighth notes. At the end of the phrase, pause. Sometimes a very short line is good. It's a little hard to play and talk at the same time. This is where it really starts to sound authentic. You can try some longer lines. Again, using mostly eighth notes. line leads naturally to the next. Your inner ear will tell you how to do it. I'm staying with the Mixolydian scale, staying with eighth notes and quarter notes and the drone and the pulse, and we have a whole music here. This is a really important step. You can spend a lot of time here before going on. Capture the flow and make your sentences and your improvising, man. Next, we're going to add another mode to the mix. The mode we're going to use this time is what we call the Phrygian mode, the F Phrygian mode, and that's a D-flat scale starting and ending on F. You notice this mode has a real different feel. One thing to remember is that a mode is a mood. Every mode has a mood of its own. And the mood of this Phrygian scale is much more mysterious and dark as compared to the Mixolydian. That's why we're using it. A lot of times in modal music you might use two modes. One might be rather bright and positive. The other one could be a little moody and a little bit mysterious. We want those kind of changes in mode and changes in mood when we play this kind of music, especially if we keep the vamp the same. Now we'll do the same thing. We'll add this to our vamp. We'll start with quarter notes. The common denominator is that it always makes a complete sentence, followed by a rest. But it's very different in feel. Try creating simple, short phrases using quarter notes and notes of the F Phrygian scale. And explore this sound. You might find yourself creating different types of phrases because of the darker sound of this mode. We can add some eighth notes. With the quarter notes. And now we're going to do mostly eighth notes. Sometimes I'll create a little bit longer of a line, and I might leave a little bit more of a rest. But everything is intuitive, based on your inner ear. You can try to hum along as you play, as you get used to improvising. It might help you to connect. Always making a sentence, generally short for now. You can even take it slower if you need to, and just explore these concepts and try to come up with all kinds of different ways to express these concepts. This is our Phrygian mode. Now we're going to talk about creating longer lines in the right hand. Just like in conversation, we want to use a combination of short phrases, short sentences, and longer sentences. So far we've concentrated mostly on the shorter sentences. Now we're going to learn how to do long sentences. So a long sentence in music is generally anywhere from 2 to 4 to any amount of number of measures without a break. And again, we're looking into using eighth notes for this. So there's a secret key to how you can do this easily, and we call this feeling in fours, feeling in the number 4. When we play long lines, the key is to group the notes in groups of 4 eighth notes with a slight accent on the first of the 4. We're grouping the notes in groups of 4 with a slight accent on the first of the 4. And we keep it flowing. You can say this to yourself if you like. Slice of pizza, 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 slice. The secret slice of pizza jazz improv method works every time. Little accent on the slice, and this is how we create long lines. Slice of pizza, slice of pizza, slice of pizza, slice. Make a long melody, follow your ear. We're staying with eighth notes and quarter notes with the Mixolydian mode for now. But trying to create these musical sentences on the fly. Slice of pizza, actually say it. Slice of pizza, slice of pizza, slice of, make a melody and then stop at the end. At the end of your phrase, take a breath and feel into the space of the breath and wait, and you'll get a signal from your musical intuition about where to start the next phrase. Let it flow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I wait until I get a signal to start again, and then start the next line. Wait longer. It's perfectly okay to wait a certain number of measures, more than you think might be possible. A lot of times people are reticent to leave space when they improvise, but it's always a good idea to feel into the space of the rest and wait till you get the signal to start the next one. This is the long line concept. It's a great feel, it really flows. Slice of pizza, slice of pizza, slice of pizza, slice of pizza pie. Slice of pizza, slice of pizza, slice of pizza pie. Flow with your ear. Let the music come through you. Keeping the parameters easy and simple and using these concepts is what makes it work. Take a moment or take 2 weeks and try this out. We'll go on in a moment. Another thing we can use when we start improvising melodies is we can use double stops in the right hand. This is, of course, for piano players, possibly for violinists, or maybe Tibetan singers. A double stop is 2 notes played at the same time. And we want to think of the interval between the 2 notes to delineate between the different double stops. The most common one is thirds. And here we usually create a simple melody. We don't usually create long lines with double stops, although it's possible. Thirds creates a real pretty sound. And you'll notice if we improvise with a single line like we were before, and then switch into double stops, it's a real nice movement. Like more of a chorus. If we're playing in single notes, or if we're playing in double stops, we're always trying to create a short musical complete phrase and talk at the same time. Sometimes short phrases. Wait in the space. The next phrase will come right to you. I promise. If you try singing along as you play, sometimes that helps you to connect with it. Now, if we use fourths in the right hand, it gets a different kind of a sound than thirds. It's a little more modern. Still making a simple melody with the top note and following a fourth below. Another common double stop is the sixth. It's also kind of pretty. Maybe a little classical. And octaves can also be used. When you're improvising, you can shift constantly between single note lines, double stops of different kinds, How's everybody doing out there? This is a beautiful way to learn improvisation. It's a very hypnotic, very cosmic kind of a feel. Maybe you can have a schnapps or two before you do this. One way or another, you'll end up really high. This type of playing is very open-ended as opposed to playing on tunes that have a definite chord structure. So it's great to have a structure for this type of improvisation as well. So I'm going to talk you through a basic structure that uses everything we learned tonight and that you can use, if you like, to put together a complete modal improvisation over Vamps. It's great to start by writing a simple melody. The melody will be used like bookends at the beginning and at the end of the improvisation. I have a simple melody here which I wrote over this. It goes like this. This part can be written, and we can begin and end our improv like this. So the first thing we'll do is play this melody once or twice, and then we'll start improvising over the F Mixolydian mode. Leave a little space and start your flow. Start with short phrases, leave a lot of rest at the beginning. Find the melody of your heart and play. It's right there. We can stay improvising on F Mixolydian for a while. And then we'll change, and that little guy in your head, that musical intuition, will tell you exactly when to change, and will create this darker, more mysterious mood with the F Phrygian. Always creating a complete line with every phrase, complete sentence, and staying with the scale now. We can add what we call inner chords a little bit after we finish the line. Has a nice sustained quality. Octaves. Woo! Leave the mistakes. Mistakes are okay. I guess unless you're in Carnegie Hall, then it has to be okay anyway. Phrygian. Then we'll go back to our Mixolydian. The mood brightens. Sometimes let lines go longer. It's just a longer musical sentence. And then we're going to play our melody again at the end. And then we'll let the drone fade out. This is our entire structure for modal improvising using Vamps. All right. Now I'm just going to try performing one so you can hear how it all flows together. Okay, gang. Hope you had a good time with this. If this kind of thing floats your boat, there are 18 other master classes. I'll go through them again slowly with you. Bill Evans, Oscar Peterson, Marx Brothers, Liberace, Frank Zappa, Dick Hyman, Dave McKenna, Walking Bassline Clinic, 15 stylistic elements for the advanced jazz pianist, Charles Ives, Lenny Tristano, Grateful Dead, Bruce Hornsby, Charlie Parker, Keith Jarrett, Playing Outside the Changes, The Endless Flow of Music Within, and Eric Dolphy. All available free, no commercials, on Ustream and YouTube. I want to thank my partner in crime, Melissa Kelly, for all of her great work in helping me put together these videos. It's really a wonderful experience for me to have a chance to communicate like this with you. I enjoy hearing from you anytime. In our second part of this particular masterclass, I'll show you some more advanced concepts for playing on Vamps, including cross rhythms, faster lines, all kinds of neat stuff. So if you want to reach me anytime, feel free to write to davefrankjazz.com. Blessings and keep swinging from New York City.